Stereo came in. We got ourselves a little head unit with Android Auto because I'm an Android user. A couple of 4x6s for the back and a couple of 2 3/4 to replace the speakers that are up front underneath the dash. So let's get cracking. Got a Phillips head into a 1/4 inch and a ratchet. Basically start extracting it till it hits the windshield, or it's loose enough you can get in there by hand. No! Come back! Gotcha. Oh, would you look at that? There it is. All right, here we got the old speaker. Got the old screws. Don't lose these. Right. So these little tiny nuts are super duper cheap. They're like, I don't know, looks like a pressed sheet metal sort of thing. I mean, look at that. Oh, cool, the screw came with it. That's a new one. Well, this just got interesting. Cool. Uh-oh. This guy installed. Hey. Beautiful. 2 brand new speakers. Stupid me cut the wires coming out of this other hole, so thankfully I have a green and a green stripe pair that seems to be long enough to reach from that hole into there. The wire with the stripe on it is negative, and that's important in speakers because if you get one of those swapped, they're going to be out of phase, which means like instead of the speakers doing this, they're going to be doing this. So the pressure wave in your car is going to drive you nuts, and you're not going to exactly know why. Might be because your speakers are out of phase. This is technically a tweeter. Positive gets the capacitor, so the solid's going to go there. So negative is going to get one of these guys. Positive solid green, negative green stripe. Beautiful. All right, cool. This is ready for install. So here's the spot the speaker is going to occupy. I made this little cardboard template, and I'm going to transfer that onto this piece of board I have here. I'm going to cut this guy out, clean it up, get our speaker test fit, drill a couple of holes, and we'll be good. Yeah, I'm not great with a jigsaw, but you know what? It fits. Now we drill some pilot holes, and then hopefully we don't put a screw through the membrane. Beautiful. Now this guy sits right in there. But I finally have all 3 bolt holes in. Also had to re-drill this guy, he was a little off. But here we go. Let me tighten these up, put the trim back, show you what it looks like. All right, there she is. Installed, tucked up, got the wiring right into the carpet here. Got some extra speaker wire. I'm gonna throw that behind the dash. The plan was to utilize this existing bezel here. Only problem is, when I put the air conditioning in there, I want the AC controls to be down here because the screen I picked out is massive. All the controls are going to be below it. So if I put the screen down here, you won't access those controls. So I want to put this screen up top, slide it all the way up, angle it towards the driver. But to do that, I need to continue this cut up, essentially erase this, get rid of this, continue this cut up, and that's gonna destroy my screw tabs here, but a couple of self-tappers up top will anchor it in, and then these guys will still be there. And I'll just cover this with, I guess, like a temporary plate or something before I get the AC painted black. So that's the plan. I know, it's ugly, but hold on. Now I just gotta fix the wiggle. There's a lot of play in there. Don't really like that. It's super loose, and it's also too low. Many hours later, I decided to take the original box mount that came with it. So you put this thing in from the front, and then you rotate it in. It sits about there. And then you put your trim ring on. So this is a lot of trouble to go through. But in the future, when I want to add the HVAC controls, essentially what I can do is cut out this section of the metal, and the HVAC controls should just slip right in there. 2 deck screws into the bottom, and this thing shouldn't go anywhere. All right, radio's in. You can see we have a lot more room down here. Believe it or not, that's a lot more stable than it was. Just the actual base unit itself is much better. Let's see if all that worked. Hey yo. Any second now. All right. Looks like I'm getting it from all 4 corners. Let me play some of my band songs that have not been released so we won't get copyright struck. Oh man, what a complete pain in the butt. If you have an El Camino, I do not recommend doing this. This was stupid. This took far too long. But that screen, this is sweet. This is everything I want, right? Whew, what a mess I've made. Time to finish up the dash. I need to change out this back dash panel here. I got this from Reversion Raceworks before I had my own 3D printer. Printed an error the first time. They sent me a new one, so good on them. That's awesome. I'm gonna swap out this old one for the new one. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna update the firmware on this. So let's do that. And this is the Tinker Dash. I decided to give these guys a shot because, well, I didn't feel like spending $1,000 on a screen. This is a custom background. So I drew up all the gauges and I put them in the right spot. And then basically everything else is just a value. So all the labels I put in the image in the background. Some of the basic ones, like if you just buy it, it looks like this. So you get your RPM sweep, your miles per hour. My turn signals are driven off of relays, so I'm using analog 4 and 5 for left and right. So I actually have an LED for my left and right turn signal here. My RS1 is my fuel level. Kind of need to calibrate that a little bit. We are trying to find out how to 3D print a little gauge clustered thing here to display our gear. So I got a piece of tape here showing the relative position of, so here's park, reverse, neutral, drive, 3, 2, 1. All right, and knowing the diameter of this column, then we can essentially have an arrow or some sort of mechanism that sweeps the dial across And I want it to live just in front of this dashboard right here. I think this is what I'm gonna settle on. Just a real simple gauge, and I printed a needle holder. So you can see park, reverse, neutral, drive, and if you're actually piloting the thing, it's better. 3, 2, 1. All right, there it is with the 3M sticky tape. Right? Not so bad. And if you don't even look too hard, all you see is the needle moving. All right, real happy with that. All right, that's it for this one. Just kind of making the interior a little bit of a nicer place to be with the dash and the stereo, and that trim panel came out all right. Catch you next time.